Hey, 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 it's your girl Barbie J here with another one of Tyler Perry's comedy dramas, The Oval, Season 4, Episode 13. Back off. And y'all know who that's about. That's about Sam telling Bobby and Max telling Bobby to back off. And it's so funny that the synopsis for this episode says Sam calls Victoria out when she decides to interfere with his already rocky marriage with Priscilla. Oh, please. Sam ain't do jack to really call Victoria out. So I don't know why they put that there. So I actually thought this was a good episode. Don't ask me why, but I thought it was interesting because we learned some new things, especially that one uh little special thing about Kareem. We were like, hey, here it is. It's out there now. Anyway, I gotta tell you, I was happy not to see Donald, Hunter, or Kyle in this episode. Don't ask me why, but I was. So let's get started. Oh no, before we get started, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please take a moment right now. Please hit that subscribe button, then hit the notification bell and select all. And it'll let you know every time I upload a new video. I need y'all to subscribe so I could build up my subscribership for the new year. Basically for the new year. That's what I'm working at. So please help my channel grow. I can only do it with the help of you guys. And after you select all, then I ask that you like the video. That's the thumbs up button. Write a comment and share. How about that? That's easy. It's simple. And I'd appreciate if y'all could do that for me. Now, it starts with Priscilla walking in on Victoria, coming on to Sam, and Victoria tells her to put the tea down, and she looks at Victoria, then at Sam, and walks out. And Sam tells Victoria that she set this up. You set this up because why is she bringing you tea? And of course, Victoria lies and says that I didn't do that. I didn't set it up. And then he informs her that he is getting off her detail. And he tries to leave. And she said, I ain't dismiss your ass. And then she asks him, does he know who she is? She's like, you know who I am? He said, yes, you the first lady. And then she tells him, I am my father's daughter. And what Victoria wants, she gets. Then Sam said, okay. And then he said, then I'll transfer out of the White House. And Victoria was like shocked. She asked, oh, would you do that? And Sam said, yes. And she asked, so that woman means that much to you? His wife. Really, Victoria? And he said, yes, ma'am. And she told him, yeah, she didn't mean ish to him when he had her bent over that desk in the yellow room. I said, ooh. No, she didn't. And then she bent her booty over and was showing him and all of that, how she was positioned. I said, see, Sam, see how one weak moment can mess up your life? It doesn't make any sense. So Sam was upset and he's saying he's leaving, even though she didn't dismiss him. And she let him go. And then she looked at the tea and said, I ain't drinking that ish. None of this. But we knew it because she said she won't eat or drink nothing that Priscilla brings in there. So it was set up. Anyway, moving on. We got Sharon and Dale. They in the pharmacy. This was an interesting scene talking about Kareem, Barry, and the cult. When a customer walks in and says he notices to get his prescription, and then he says he notices Dale from a supermarket back in Virginia. He pays for his prescription and it looks like Dale put the cash. If you ask me, did y'all see how Dale was putting the cash on the side? He wasn't even it's like they didn't even have a real register there for him to put it in. Half the props there, TP. I mean, even Fisher Price have registers that have drawers that open. You can put the play money in it, really? Come on. Anyways, then the customer, his name is Tyrone, he asked Dale to speak with him in private. And Dale told him, Sharon's like a sister to me and he could say whatever he wants in front of her because he's just going to tell her anyways what he said. So then he said that Dale, this was funny, Dale had wanted to have sex with him and Sharon's like, oh, okay. Sharon's like, all right. And he said, you were eye screwing me. I said, I have never heard that before. He's told him he was eye screwing him in there. And Dale said he doesn't remember that. And he told Dale that the raccoon can help and free him. And there's no male or female with the raccoon. And Dale was like, that's okay. I'll stay a male. I'm happy with that. So he invited Dale to join. And then he told Dale they can use him because he works at a pharmacy and could get them what they need. And Dale was like, yeah, I don't think so. So then the customer leaves and says, bless you, my sister. And then says, brother to Dale, and Dale put up his fist and said, brother. When the man laughed. And when he leaves, Dale said, why did I do that? And Sharon's like, yeah, really? That was weird. Then we got Sam. He walks into the kitchen and asks Priscilla, can they talk? And she says, sure. And Sam tells Priscilla that Victoria set this up. And Priscilla says, she always sets things up. Are you just now seeing that she does this? Because your job does train you to look for this kind of ish, doesn't it? And Sam says it does. And he said he will never do it again. And thanks Priscilla for being calm. And Priscilla was what? Like what? She had a tear rolling down her face, and she was telling him that her calm has nothing to do about sympathy because he got shot. Because he was like, maybe I should get shot more often. And she let him know, it ain't about that. And he asked, what's it about? And she said, a beautiful, sexy man sat in this kitchen and he let me know that I'm still hot stuff. I said, hey, tell him, girl. And she said she may even go out with him and F him. I said, ooh, Sam was getting pissed. He got upset saying, you're going to just make things worse. And she reminds him that he started this and that he's like, I'm sorry. And she said, you sure are. So then Priscilla said that if, that biatch is harassing you, talking about Victoria, Sam needs to report her. And he said, no, because then he looked like a weak agent. And Priscilla said, so finally some truth comes out. He says he can handle her. That's a saying. So I can handle her. And she said, how? How you gonna handle her? Like the way you did in the yellow room? I said, ooh, here we go again. He being reminded twice now about that yellow room. And Priscilla tells Sam that she is done talking, then added, since they are in this open marriage, she might as well go out and get her a man. Then she dismissed Sam. I said, ooh, girlfriend is pissed. Then we have Jason and Alan. They're eating and drinking beers while Jason is still pointing that freaking gun at Alan. And Alan asked Jason, so what is your plan? Where is it? What are you going to do? And Jason said, you know what? I'm going to stay with you, Alan. And he said, you can't stay here. What you going to do? Be waving a gun at me all day and night? Then Jason admits he doesn't know what he's going to do. And he's getting emotional and tells Alan that he's stressing him. And he said, you don't want to get me stressed. And Alan's like, no, I don't. And he starts waving the gun at Alan. And then once again, he had to calm him down. And he tells Alan that, his parents are going to kill him. I don't know why Alan had to ask again, who's trying to kill him. He told you the first day on time. So then Alan tells him that it sounds ridiculous that his parents wants to kill him. He's like, I know, right? Then Jason says he needs money and asks Alan for money. Then Alan asks if he can, call Priscilla to help him because she helped him when he got jammed up a couple of times. And Jason said, Priscilla hates me and that this ain't no time to be phoning a friend. I said, oh, God, what was that game show? It's like phone a friend. So then he points the gun at Alan again and pretends to shoot him like, doing that. Anyway, Alan got nervous again. Then we got Bobby. He goes to relieve Max from his post, and Priscilla walks down the hall and said, oh, there you go. I'm glad you didn't need. And asked Bobby what time he gets off of work and does he want to take her out to dinner. And he said yes. And he asked, he said he'd get off soon and that he would take her out. And he asked, well, what does Sam has to say about that? And she said, F him. And then tells Bobby where to meet her. I said, ooh. At this moment, Sam is walking down the hall and he sees what Priscilla is up to and she walks away and he's like, Priscilla, and she ignores him. And then Sam confronts Bobby, of course, asking him what that was all about, and he says, oh, she was just saying goodbye. And Sam said, you're lying. And Bobby said, no, I'm not. And Sam explains to him that he and his wife are having some problems. And Bobby said, that's not my business, Sam. He said, I know it's not. And asked Bobby not to add to it. And he said it nicely. He said, I appreciate if you didn't add to it. And so Sam lets Bobby know that he is aware of his reputation of being a whore. He said, I know who you are, Bobby, baby. Bobby said, you must got me confused. And Sam laughed and said, no, I don't. I know just who you are, and told him not to do it. And Bobby said, I heard you the first 2 times. Then as Sam walks away, Max comes up to the hallway and stands with Bobby, and he asks him what was going on, and Bobby said, I don't know. And Max said, oh, it's something because Sam doesn't seem like he's too happy with you. Then Bobby tells Max about the second lady not believing any of this BS that's going on. and wants him to help her get to the bottom of it. Max says she better be careful, and Bobby says Simone is determined. Then asks if Bobby has heard from, Max asks if Bobby has heard from Sharon and if she's going to help them bring down the president. And Bobby said no, she's not, and says Sharon probably wouldn't be helping them. Then Max mentions he thought she would, go for the drama being a former stripper. And I'm sitting there going, how does Max know she's a former stripper? Not even that. I wonder, what does that have to do with anything? Because she was a stripper that she want to get involved in mess. Come on. I just didn't like that, insinuation about her that Max made. I guess I went to be her being a black female and him making that comment. I didn't like it. So Eli comes out of his office and Bobby and Max, walk him out. They get him to his residence, and then Max notices Bobby rushing and asks, what's up? And Bobby tells him that he has a hot date with Priscilla, and Max is telling him not to go because they're having problems. And Bobby's like, how the heck you know? And he says, it's a small place, dude, like we all know. So Bobby says he don't care because Priscilla came on to him. And Max says, you are just mad at what Lily did to you. And Bobby said, no, I'm just horny. So, oh shoot, he was just point blank. That's all it's about. And he told Max to just go and meet with Kyle. Don't they have a boxing match they supposed to do? And Max said, I thought you were going to come with me. And Bobby said, what was that? He said he was going to go with me. And Bobby said, being there depends on if he gets lucky tonight and stuff. And Max said, and I agree with what Max just said, there ain't nothing about that that's going to be lucky. And then Bobby walked away. He didn't care. I said, oh, snap. Then it goes over to Kareem. He goes back to his house and he calls his cousin to come to his house by himself to help him. His cousin said he was in the middle of something. He was about to get him some coochie. He was about to get some coochie. Kareem's like, I don't care. He got all loud, so I don't care. And his cousin was like, yo, man, okay, what's up? And then he said, how long is it going to take you? He said, I'll be there in 30 minutes. And he's like, hurry up, hurry up. Then it switches to Sam is in a room. So that room that Sam was in this time, y'all tell me, what is that room? Because that's not the command center. You didn't see all those screens and computers like we usually see. So, and then we got that agent. He's he's in the room with him just over his shoulder, like breathing on him, like at the bank or the supermarket, like in line, like get off of me already. And he's like, is there something you need done? And Sam tells him, what are you doing? He said, go take a break. And then Sam calls that guy, what's his name, David or something, and tells him where he sees his car has traveled through tolls and it was on Market Street, etc. And he tells David that they need to find Jason because we need him. Then Sam tells him that he may need him to break someone's face if he shows up at a restaurant. I said, oh, look at Sam calling on the big thugs and stuff. He got beat by Jason. What he gonna do to Bobby? Let's be real. If he just got beat by a little kid, a little snot-nosed kid like Jason, what he gonna do up against somebody big, black, and delicious like Bobby? Let's be real. Anyway, so the guy makes some sort of joke about, it seemed like it was a joke about Sam's height, about you get the legs and I get the rest. And Sam is like, he don't think it's funny at all. You think this is a joke? And he's like, it's not funny. And he tells him to just find the effing kid. He got mad. I was like, Sam, you're short. Whatever. Anyway, we got Lily. She in the hospital and the doctor comes in and shows him her wound and tells him that she stabbed herself. What kind of damn story? I'd rather you say you shot yourself playing with a gun or something, accidentally, So she told him she throws knives for a traveling circus. And she asked if he can stop the bleeding. And he said yes, and that they need to take some x-rays. I said that was a dumb excuse she gave. So then we got Eli. He walks into the bedroom and Simone wants to make him feel good and suggests that they take a bath together. But he questions her instead about why she calls Tom at Langley. And he tells her that it is over. And she says she doesn't think what's going on is over, that it is, and explaining that it all seems too convenient. And he tells her to stop. It's over. He raised her voice at her and she told him, don't you do that. Don't you talk to me in that tone. And he apologized and then told her that it makes him seem weak with her calling his contacts. And she says that she was only trying to help. And he walks away saying he's going to take a shower. Then he goes and calls Victoria saying he wanted to spend time with her today. Then she asked him if Simone had called Langley and he said yes. and she knows not to do it anymore, he says. And Victoria saying, I don't trust her and feels like she needs to persuade her. He said, no, you don't. She understands. So then as Victoria's talking to him, she's rolling her eyes all, and as if he's bothering her. Did y'all all notice that? And he asks her what she is doing, and she make up this lie saying, oh, I'm laying here in bed thinking about you, about to touch myself. And Eli got all excited and asked where that a-hole Hunter is. And she said, oh, he's in the Oval somewhere. So he said, he wants to see her touching herself. And Victoria's eyes, I don't know if y'all all notice it. Y'all let me know down in the comment section. Her eyes rolled really high up in her head. She was so done. And so she did the video call with him, and she asked Eli to touch himself as well, And of course, he was ready to oblige, Meanwhile, he done turned down his wife from taking a bath with her. You know what, Negroes, you need to stop, Anyway, Eli's a mess. And now we know for sure he's being used by Victoria, which is what a lot of us thought anyway. So now we see Kareem's cousin Antonio showing up at his house, and he tells his cousin that someone is trying to set him up for murder. And he tells him what he saw when he got home, that he saw a dead body in his bed. And his cousin thinks he's been smoking. He's looking at him like, and you see Kareem, his cousin's name is Antonio or something like that, but he calls his cousin Tony. So Tony is looking at him like he's smoking something, and Tony's pissed that he called him to a crime scene because he said he's still in there. So Tony goes back there and checks, and he's like, damn. And Kareem says, we need to get rid of the body. And his cousin said, if you didn't do it, why don't you just go to the police and tell them that? And that's when we learn, honey, that's when we learn this information. And when Kareem said, I'm going to go to the police and tell him my thugged out cousin who's running drugs through his pharmacy. Wow. I said, where did that come from? How could the police know that? Unless they'll attach it some kind of way to him. But they didn't know nothing about no drugs running through the pharmacy when Barry ran a car through there. I was like, what does that have to do with anything? Anyway, his cousin told him that. He said, that's a heavy mother effer in there. You're going to have to put him in a bathtub and cut him up and put him in 2 suitcases. Kareem's like, what? What? I can't do that. You know me, cuz I can't do that. He said, can't you get someone else to do it? So his cousin said, what do you want to do then? And Kareem said he don't know. And then it goes back to Lily. She asked the doctor what is taking so long. The doctor says he got her x-rays back. It says there is something he doesn't understand. It shows that it's not a knife wound. And Lily asked, well, okay, that's good, but is everything okay? And he said, it's only some mildly damaged muscle tissue or something like that. Then he tells her there's some bad news. And a police officer comes into the room and the doctor leaves out. Oh, honey. So here, Lily, you can see her face. She's really concerned. The officer wants to talk to Lily about what has happened. And Lily says she is not going to do this right now. She says she doesn't want to answer his question. And he says that he just have a few questions. And she says that she has nothing to say to him and asks, why is he there anyway? And he said the doctor called him. And it seems that the doctor and the police, they feel that Lily is being harmed or hurt by someone. So he asks him, did your husband do this? No. Did your boyfriend do this? What about your pimp? She's like, a pimp? Do I look like a prostitute? I didn't even want to answer that one because some of us would think she looks like one. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. So they said they could keep her there for a gunshot wound if she's not going to cooperate, and they're not going to let her leave. So that's how it ended. I mean, she was upset, and I knew Donald tried to warn her there was going to be an issue if she goes to the hospital, and that's what ended up happening. So y'all let me know down in the comment section how y'all felt about this episode, and I will see you guys in the next video. It is your girl, Barbie J, saying peace.